Welcome to this review of the 1999 season of the Fox team from Denmark. The first event on the calendar was the 18th Europol at the IJsselhallen in Zwolle, which once again was arranged by the Smit family. The middle of January is early for many teams who are overhauling or rebuilding their tractors, but it was still well supported, and although the Fox team were planning changes to their two machines, they were there and competed in both the 3.4 and 4.4 ton modified classes. The lighter class was run in the afternoon, and although driver Flemming Smed will be sharing the driving in '99 with Kjell Andersen, it was Flemming who was selected to drive at Zwolle. The narrow indoor track with very little space to the wall was not a good place to start learning the trade. The track had been criticised in '98, it had been greatly improved. The sledge had a heavy weight setting, so when it came to Fox Junior there were no full pulls and no tractor had broken the 80-metre mark. An excellent run from Flemming. The track at Zwolle 85 metres long, so Fox Junior into the lead and just 3 metres short of a full pull. Q18 Popeye is always a tough rival. 4 months earlier, Johnny van Alphen had beaten Fox by just 10 centimetres to take the European crown in Great Eccleston. Could he beat the Danes again? Plenty of power from his two Allison V12s. And it would be very close. But this time, he was on the losing end by 48 centimetres. And there was still Fox yet to pull. Again, Flemming behind the wheel. Before the start of the outdoor season, it was planned to repaint both tractors so that it would be easier to distinguish between the two. And a couple of new Oldsmobile motors have been ordered from the States to give them some extra power. 82.02 was the distance needed to take the lead. Another good run, but on this occasion it was Fox Junior who pulled the furthest. The big question was, had Flemming done enough to edge into second place? It was very close. But third to Fox, so Flemming winning the first event in 1999. And as he couldn't stand in two places at once, Kjell Andersen stood in for him in third place with Johnny van Alphen second. So it could hardly have been a better start to the season. Here's the winning run again in slow-mo. The evening session attracted even more spectators, and this time we see the heavier 4.4 ton class. Team Larsen checking, as he always does, that all the engines are running as they should. A lighter sledge setting meant that all 8 competitors made full pulls, and Fox was the first to pull in the final. On this occasion, Fox Junior was not pulling in this class. Fox unable to break 70 metres. .26 was what the others had to aim at. Earlier in the evening, when they'd run the 3.4 ton class again, it resulted in another first and third to the Fox team, with Popeye the filling in the middle. In this heavier class, Jan van Alphen was out for revenge. And revenge he got with this pull, much to the delight of his fans in the audience. .78.21 was the winning pull. Fox was fifth. Right, we move on to Ahoy in Rotterdam, the venue for the biggest indoor pulling event in Europe. It was the 21st year that Gerard Elting, the promoter, had been bringing together all the top names in Europe and Scandinavia. In the 3.4-ton modified class, Fox Junior recorded its third victory of the season with Fox fifth. And now it was time for the 4.4s, where Desperate Dan always seems to do well on the shortened 60-metre track. The big man from England, Brian Armistead, making one of his few trips across the Channel in 1999. 48.94 for the Brit. A new roll cage and a new colour scheme for Fox Junior. There was still some painting to be done, but it was nearly complete. Fleming again in charge, and not able to match Desperate Dan. 44.91 was only good enough for fourth place. Another highlight of Ahoy is the American guests that Elting bring over. And in 1998 it was Mike Piper and family with Just Add Dirt. Powered down the track by RES engines and never extended. Right, we move on to the first of the Euro Cup events at Bernay in France, where we take a closer look at the Fox team.
It's very important for us that it looks okay when you see in on us. We used to be in the States every year buying parts, and we over there we see drag race, NASCAR race and stuff like that, and we try to learn a little bit because only the best is good enough, and to clean things up and do things so it looks nice don't have to cost money. You just have to do it the best way all the way through. That's the way it end up looking nice. We do a lot in T-shirt souvenir sales and stuff. We have T-shirt pins and photos, caps, and all that stuff, and that actually give a little income during a season. And I think on that point we're the most the biggest tractor pulling team too in Europe, because the trailer and stuff here is put up the way that we got a little sales shop here, and that help a lot to sell something.
Now, Torben is the figurehead for the team, but you're also a very important part of it, and the actual driving is only a small part of what you do in the team. Perhaps you can tell us what else you do.
I'm mostly the engine man. And this winter I have overhauled 10 engines complete, and that's what my time is used for mostly.
What do you do, in fact, for a living? You're not involved in this full time, are you?
No, I'm a car mechanic from 8 to 4.
And then from 4 until 12,
Yeah.
you're working on the other things.
Yeah, it's the tractor the rest of the evening.
Kel Anderson was the new driver for Fox, and he was a real beginner.
That's right. And I believe it's true that you need 100 runs before you can sell yourself a driver. Well, I have been to 5 or 6 events now where I have been the driver. And each time something new is happened. The tractor is jumping, or the tractor won't get grip in the track, so the wheels were spinning much too fast in top of the track. And it's there's many things to learn, definitely, yeah, there's.
The trailer we got here today is the second trailer. We built another trailer 5 years ago, and when you have been using a trailer for 5 years, you got a lot of ideas how you could do it easier than it had been. It's very important to have things made up so it's the easiest as possible. And that's the main idea for the trailer. Everything is made so it's special made for the purpose we use it for here. The front tractor, Fox Junior. When we roll that into the trailer, we have to take roll cages and things off the tractor because we got a lift in there. So we are lifting it up under the roof of the trailer, so Fox can go in underneath. So they are kind of on top of each other in there.
You've never won the European Championship. You've been second a couple of times. You've been there or thereabouts, but you never won it. So that must be #1 priority for you after the Euro Cup.
As I have said a lot of times before. You never know what's going to happen when you go on the track. So you can do good, and we were surprised last year in England, 10 centimeters from a title. That's unbelievable. But anyway, we always do our best, and the time will show how the result will be.
Well, we hope that size counts for you this year.
Thank you very much.
Fox, twice winners of the Eurocup in '93 and '94. And because the new engines had not arrived from the States, Fleming was driving Fox Junior, which the team reckoned to be the strongest of the two. We start with the 3.5-ton modifieds, not a Eurocup class, where 6 qualified for the pull-off. Desperate Dan was one of them, just under 100 metres, and that was good enough to take first place. Kjell Andersen was driving Fox, which had also had a facelift. Not able to threaten the leader, he was 4th overall. Always an enormous crowd at Bernay. They seemed to enjoy the special atmosphere during the evening session, which this year was affected by rain. So on with the first round of the Eurocup. This is Kjell Andersen with Fox. Wrestling with the sledge, but unable to make a full pull on his Eurocup debut. 93.96 meant 9th place overall for the Dane. In the pull-off final, Desperate Dan again showed the others how to do it. That was the winning run from the big man from Out Rawcliffe near Blackpool. Then it was the turn of Fox Junior with Fleming Smith. Over almost before it had begun. A broken blower belt was the cause.
When he pushed the throttle forward to open up everything, there is a certain point on the throttle where we don't feed the motor hard enough with fuel. And if we are running the motor lean of fuel as too little fuel, that will make detonation, as you heard here, and it'll snap the belt. So we need to change a little bit in the fuel system so we can get more fuel into the motors quick enough. That's basically the problem.
So both of the Fox team beginning their Eurocup campaigns with just the basic 5 points. A very disappointing start, and now the only way was up. 2 weeks later, the Eurocup circus moved to Grimmen in what used to be Eastern Germany. Danish Dynamite taking part first in the 3.5s, the weight limit being raised slightly to allow for extra weight for roll cages to be added, as many tractors were without them, and it'll be compulsory in the year 2000. That was a stop-go full pull from Kjell Andersen and Fox, which was a good way to start the day. Fleming Smed was hoping to repeat the process. And he did so, even more convincingly. Well, there were 7 in the pull-off final, and Terminator from Belgium was one of them. Unable to compete in the Eurocup because he can't get to the start under his own power, he needs a tow tractor, but he's still a force to be reckoned with. On this occasion, it was Rudy Paulus behind the 4 Isotop engines. His mechanic was happy. 97.7 would be tough to beat. Fox was first to go. A really good pull from Kjell, probably his best to date. He's learning all the time, but well short of the Belgian. 87.06, still getting him into second place. The Fox team, the most travelled team in Europe. In 1999, they would attend 30 events in 7 countries, a really impressive record. Now Fox Junior. And on this occasion it was Kell who came out on top, beating Junior by just under 2 metres. So the drivers legitimately sharing the podium for the first time at a televised event. Although Kell had been there, of course, before to accept a prize for Fleming. So second and third to Fox. During 1999, the Fox team would win 17 events, come second 27 times, and third 21 times. They'll soon need extra storage space for all the trophies. On to the Eurocup. 9 teams, including both the Fox tractors, qualified for the final, and Fox Junior was first to pull. And he took the lead. The distance, 81.03. And Fleming stayed in front for most of the contest ahead of Popeye, Green Spirit and Challenger, as well as Ivan.
Yeah, the first 30 meter here is very loose. Look on the tractor, they don't pick up the front end before on 40-50 meter, and then they pick the front end up very, very much. So it's very, very difficult to drive here when you turn your wheels very fast. Mr. Smith made a perfect job here. We was not warm enough on the motors before we run here. I made a mistake. I thought there was a tractor more in the class, so we should have started up a little bit earlier. But it was a perfect run. We couldn't do it better than what we did here. So. We should be on the podium with this run.
So the Dannebrog flying high, and Torben, who usually, like the other team members, downplays the team's chances, was for once very optimistic. Now Ken Anderson backing up to the sledge. Could he repeat the earlier success in the 3.5s? No, it was much harder at the heavier weight, and Fox would finish in 8th place with a score of 76.21. And just when everyone was thinking that Fox Junior would be the winner, along came Abe Zitzling with Ib Kupmanski. The double Griffin combination planning to do the whole Eurocup series. And Abe was just about as surprised as everyone else when he edged into the lead. 82.18 gave him his first victory, and second place to Fox Junior, which was now third in the Eurocup points table. And Fleming was on the podium again. From the funfair at Grimmen, we moved to Hörby in Sweden for round 3. And the halfway point in the Eurocup. Kell Anderson lining Fox up for his second qualifying run. He had problems keeping on the track in his first run. Here we see what happened. Clipping the chalk line and getting disqualified. So he was a little anxious that it wouldn't happen again. He went offline but quickly corrected it, and this time there was no mistake. A full pull to Fox. Well, there were 4 others who also qualified for the final, and that included teammate Fox Junior. The music putting the crowd in good humour. Jan van Alphen was looking to improve on what for him had so far been a disappointing season. That run of 97.72 edged past Green Spirit and took him into the lead. The Swedes certainly know how to let their hair down and stomachs out. Now it was the turn of Fox. Still underpowered compared with the others. But a good run from Kell, and that earned him third place.
Will you be making any changes to Fox Junior before the second run?
Yeah, we are changing on the fuel, less fuel, hopefully more horsepower.
Well, we saw when you were running lean a couple of weeks ago that not only did you break a blower belt, but you did some damage.
Yeah, we had to rebuild that engine complete all over again. But we have changed some things, so we hope we cross our fingers for today.
From the next round, Fleming would change tractors with Kell as the new Oldsmobile engines had finally arrived from the States. So Fox will be the #1 tractor with the most horsepower. But this run from Junior didn't go quite as planned.
Torben, that was the blow. What happened?
We actually don't know for sure. The top motor stopped, and we actually had a good chance here to do good now, but we don't know what went wrong. Right when he went on the throttle, it died out. So we probably have a too low on idle, just small things like that. I don't know. But that was bad luck. We had a very good chance here, but that's a part of the game. Okay.
Torben putting on a brave face when he and Fleming were both bitterly disappointed. So Junior down to 4th, but Fox now up to 6th in the points table after picking up 3rd place. Round 4 was in Holland at Wallaby Flevo in front of one of their best crowds for years. In the Euro Cup for modifieds there were 9 full pulls, and both the Fox tractors had qualified. It always takes a while to dial in new engines and get the settings exactly right. Fleming and Torben were hoping for the best. Final instructions there. A good run from Fox, but just over a metre behind the German tractor Challenger. 81.79, and Fleming could see that they were going in the right direction. Now Popeye, going after his 2nd win in the Euro Cup this season. Fine pull, which pleased both Jan and his supporters, and 89 metres was enough for victory. And promoter Wim Torsius was also overcome by the moment. Yes, say no more. Fox Junior, ready to roll, but Ken had some unexpected work after qualifying.
What was this you were doing here?
When you damage something, you have to prepare it yourself. It's a blower belt. It's nothing big, just a quick change, but it's very important that it is there. Yeah.
And all that work was for nothing. He couldn't keep it on the track and was disqualified. That meant that Junior slipped to 6th place in the points table, but Fox was on the way up and now only 3 points behind Challenger with 2 rounds to go. Fleming on the victory rostrum with Tobias Horskamp and Jan van Alphen. Now Herning was the venue for round 5, and in the year 2000 it will host also the Euro Cup and the European Championships. The Euro Cup moving to the end of May and the European Championships in September. Junior had still not overcome the steering problems, disqualified on the first qualifying run, and that was the second and last chance for Kell. Again, unable to break his way out of trouble. So Junior failed to make the pull-off. Disappointment for the Fox team in front of their home crowd. Maybe Fox would save the day in the pull-off, which was 7 tractors strong. The new Oldsmobile engines have been performing better and better. Would their curve continue upwards? Fox roaring past the mark set by the Swedish champion Cougar. And 92.87 was going to be difficult to beat. Fleming pleased with the pull, but he knew that Popeye was still to pull, and even though he was only running on 2 engines, he was still a threat. Jan willing on his machine, but he came up short. So that was the first Eurocup win of the season for the Danish team. But by finishing second, Popeye had scored enough points to win the Eurocup. Fleming on top of the world, and Fox now up to third in the points table. So the final round in the Eurocup, and it was held at Vindenhof in France, where the weather, just like in Bernay, was again unsettled. We start with the 3.5-ton modifieds, which many of the teams had entered as it gave them a chance to test the track after the previous night's rain. There were 8 full pulls, and both the Danes made it to the final. Here's Fox. The track already dried out and getting quite dusty. And that was a fine pull from Fleming to take the lead. 92.06 the distance. Well, I've heard of a blue rinse, but that's taking it to extremes, isn't it? Now Fox Jr. And the question was, had they solved their steering problems? Keeping it on the track, but 4 meters short of Fox and into second place with 1 more to pull. And that was Ivan from Germany with Martin Ortkrass. And on this occasion, Ivan was in a class of his own. A double full pull to win the class convincingly. So second and third to the Fox team, and a chance for Kell and Fleming to mix with the new girls' dancing troupe from Marseille, who weren't just pretty faces, they had the bods and the technique to go with it. So this was the position with just 1 round remaining, and Fox with the chance of moving up to second place if things went really well. We spoke to Torben about his chances.
So Torben, the moment of truth for Fox.
Yeah, let's see how we can do here. We used to have a good event here, and earlier today we ended up second and third, but that's definitely more than we can expect in the 4.5. But we usually do good here, but I don't like the start they made for us here now. They have had a scraper in here and doing something on the track, so we hope they'll prepare that a little bit better now before we go on the track. But it'll be interesting to see today, because we need to pick up some points on the equipment here if we need to go up and take second place.
Well, there were 9 who qualified for the final. Both the Danes were there, and here's the vital run from Fox. Very close to 100 meters, and that will be a tough target for the others to beat. But Koopmanschi, which had broken at Herning, had now been repaired, and Abe was trying to defend his second place. Would he succeed? And that was a long way behind Fox. Over 11 metres. And it was beginning to look good for the Danes. It would be even better if Junior could push the Dutchman further down the order. And Kell did the business. 93.35 was good enough for 5th place, but Torben, perhaps he'd hoped for more.
Do you think that after the last 3 or 4 tractors are gone, you'll still be at the top of the podium?
I'll hopefully get third. But Popeye is absolutely the worst competitor.
You're not very confident in your own ability there, are you?
No, because he has been flying all season.
Okay. But he's won the Euro Cup, so there's nothing on it for him, but there's plenty on it for you.
Yeah, but he wants to win today.
Well, let's see if he did. Nope. 3rd place for Popeye. So a 2nd successive victory for Fox and a nice way to end the Euro Cup season. And then when they finished their calculating, Fox had done enough to climb up to a well-deserved 2nd place overall, with Junior in 6th place. Jan Boutenhaus, the ETPC president, presenting the awards. And so to the European Championships at Bouconville in France. Fox Junior, who'd finished 3rd in the Danish 3.5-ton modified class, represented Denmark in this class. Traditionally, one of the strongest of the championships. There were 14 entries, and this was Fox Junior's qualifying run. A fine pull from Kell, which had the Danish supporters on their feet and the flags flying. By the time it came to the pull-off, it was beginning to get dark. There were 11 in the final. How would Fox Junior fare? Kell kept to the left side of the track and did really well. His 107.22 was enough to secure 3rd place behind Ivan and Desperate Dan. 3rd in the Europeans in his first season, a fine finale for Kell Anderson. We move now on to the 4.5-ton modifieds. There were 8 full pulls. This is Starlight Express in the final. A really mammoth pull from this triple Allison combination from England. In the replay, watch the exhaust pipes glowing red down the side. .113.63 was the distance to beat. Here's Torben to talk about the chances.
We have one motor. That motor liked to detonate just a little bit when he go out here, and the belt is on now. There's nothing wrong with that one, but I don't want to run any risks now, so we put a new belt on before the pull off here.
Mind you, there is the risk that for the first time we could see Fox number 1.
Yeah, there's always that chance. We could be lucky one day.
And was this going to be the day? Oh, a fireball at the end as some methanol escaped. It was even more dramatic in slow-mo. While Fleming didn't win, but 89.71 was good enough for 3rd place. Jim Snell was 1st, Jan van Alphen 2nd, so 2nd in the Euro Cup, 2/3 at the Europeans, to end another successful season for the Fox team from Denmark. And to recap, it included 17 firsts, 27 seconds and 21 thirds. And Torben and the boys are already planning to make the first year in the new millennium even better. This is Roger England, hoping you've enjoyed this look back at the 1999 season of the Fox team. Bye for now and enjoy your pulling.